In the next 25 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I've been able to grow and monetize my YouTube channel, all right from my little home office right here in my living room, shooting videos mostly from my phone. I'm going to cover the 3 biggest mistakes I made going from 0 to 1,000 subscribers, how I've been able to stay consistent even when life gets busy, how I went from my first 10,000 views to 100,000 views on my channel, and how I made my first $5,494 without being monetized. If I can do it, you can do it too. I recently just crossed that 1,000 subscriber milestone. Woohoo! I have a lot of trial and error under my belt, and I want to share the 3 biggest mistakes that I made so that you can get to 1,000 subscribers faster, and hopefully your watch hours will go along with it much faster than mine did. By the way, if you're new here, hi, my name is Brooke. I am a single mom and an entrepreneur, and I've been making videos on YouTube for a couple years. Here's my channel so you can kind of like get a vibe. So yeah, I talk about like online business, social media marketing, my YouTube journey, rebuilding myself. Sometimes I make vlogs. Mistake number 1 is that I spent way too much time making YouTube shorts instead of focusing on long form content. So here's what I've come to learn. And I could actually make a whole separate video about YouTube shorts versus longs. And what, like, I have learned so much. Literally, that's a video in and of itself. So comment below if you want me to make that. Long story short, no pun intended, shorts viewers and long viewers are like 2 different audiences in general. Like, now you will have some people who do watch both of your forms of content. But if I would have just made long videos every single week, I'm sure I would be well over my 4,000 watch hours by now. And I bet I would have a lot more subscribers too. What I like to watch as a viewer and the kind of creator that I want to be is a long form creator. And so it's like, you know, because sometimes like I would spend a couple hours making a short. I could have spent that same amount of time making a long form video. And I just feel like, yeah, I would have been gathering my community way faster instead of the shorts viewers who just like scroll like this and then peace out and, you know, most likely never see you again. There's a time and a place for shorts. I still like shorts and I still upload them, but I just do it in a completely different way now. And like I said, that could be a whole separate video. Mistake number 2 that I made is I did the process of making videos totally backwards. And I did this for like the first year. What I used to do is make a video about whatever, like I would have an idea, I would make the video, and then I would go to upload it and be like, oh shoot, what should I title this video? Oh, how do I make a thumbnail for this? What should the thumbnail look like? And I would kind of be like slapping together the title and the thumbnail, and I would try to make those things fit the video. And then I took Ali Abdal's part-time YouTuber Academy course, PTYA for short. And that was like a total game changer. I'm like an online course junkie. I've taken so many online courses like over the past 12, 13, 14 years, something like that. Like I've taken so many. This is literally one of my favorite online courses I've ever taken. Like it's really, really good. So I enrolled in PTYA. I binge watched the entire course like within a 2-week time frame because I'm like, I want to learn the game of YouTube. I'm like, this guy obviously knows what he's doing. He has like 6 million subscribers, and I've been watching Ali Abdal for years and years and years. The thing that really changed the game for me was I learned that you need to think of your title and your thumbnail first, like finalize those things before you even film the video. I started implementing what I learned really in September, just of this past year, consistently. And on average, I post like 1 video a week. And so I've been doing it that way now, thinking of the title and the thumbnail first and the hook, but that's like a separate story. Really, it's just about like the biggest game changer was title and thumbnail for me. That made all the difference. And then mistake number 3, overthinking. Just overthinking in general. I wasted a lot of time overthinking. I even made a video where I ranted about it. Biggest pet peeve, the niche, okay? Overthinking what video to make next. You know, once I learned how important it is to make the title and thumbnail first, then it's like, then sometimes I would go down a rabbit hole of overthinking the title and thumbnail, like doing some of that keyword research. And if there wasn't enough interest or, you know, just kind of getting like lost in all those numbers. And then it was like, I would lose my excitement over the video I would want to make because I'd be like, oh, well, this, YouTube title apparently sucks, so nobody's really going to be searching for this or clicking on it and if it comes up in browse. So why would I even make this video in the first place? And then it's like I was holding myself back from sharing, like, you know, really good stuff. And just wasting a lot of time self-sabotaging with overthinking instead of just taking action. If you are going to spend 3 weeks overthinking what your title and thumbnail is going to be, like, forget it. Just make a video, you know? I don't want that to sound like conflicting advice, but like, do you get my point? It's one thing to understand tips and strategies that work. But if you are going to get caught up in this like analysis paralysis and then completely sabotage yourself because you're overthinking it, then none of that matters. You get better by doing, not by thinking. Really, the most important thing that matters is just consistency. I've posted 101 videos on my channel so far just in the past 15 months. So you could say I found a way to be consistent. I'm going to share my top 3 tips for staying consistent. This is how I personally do it, and it works really well for me. So I'm just going to share it with you, and you can take what serves you and feel free to leave the rest. My first tip is to set a realistic goal. So when I started taking YouTube seriously, my goal was to post 1 video a week for the next 10 years. Okay, 10 years. That is a very long time horizon. I'm doing YouTube on the side. Like, I'm a single mom. I have a business. So this is something that I'm doing like extra for me. So anyway, so I only have a few hours a week to dedicate to my channel, and I knew that if I set a goal of any more than 1 video a week, that would just not be sustainable. Set the bar low. Even if you feel like you want to produce 3 videos a week, cool. Give yourself the challenge of like, I at the bare minimum am going to release 1 video a week. And if you have it in you to make 3, go for it. Tip number 2, keep the process simple. I'm always asking myself, what is the simplest way I can film this video? What is the simplest way I can edit this? I keep the process really fun for myself. So simple and fun. That should be a tip in and of itself. Okay, that's tip 2, part B. Anyways, this is how I keep it simple. I film all my videos on my phone. I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max or whatever it's called. I keep my setup really simple. I have a handheld tripod that I literally just set on my table, like right now, and then I sit down here and film the video. Sometimes I film videos in my car. Sometimes I film videos like when I'm taking a walk or whatever. Like I do different things. I don't always just like sit right here in this chair. The point is I just keep the process extremely simple, like phone, tripod, and then for editing, I keep that process really simple as well. The editing tool that I like to use is CapCut Pro. And then I'll give myself a deadline and tell myself I'm not spending more than an hour editing this. And usually I spend way less. Like sometimes it's only 30 minutes, and I keep the edits very simple for myself and fun. Like I'll cut out all of the mistakes or the long pauses, like where I forget what I'm saying, or if I say something that's super redundant, I'll cut that out. Sometimes I add music if I want to. Maybe I'll add some text on screen or some like overlays or some B-roll footage that I've filmed. I keep it very, very simple for myself, and I don't overthink the editing. I did hire an editor for a short period of time. I've taken a little break from that because my goal in hiring an editor in the first place was to save time so that I would have an easier time producing 1 video a week. But what I found was that I was actually spending more time trying to communicate and like give direction and set her up for success to like bring my vision for the video to life. The whole back and forth process actually ended up taking way longer. It was saving me the time on actually me sitting down and editing. However, it took more of my mental capacity because the video was like in process for like up to a week of all the back and forth and all this stuff. And so that actually made the process way more complicated for me and took up a longer time in my mind And I'm just at a phase in my life right now where I can't have a heavy mental load. Like anytime my mind feels overwhelmed, like I'm just like, I need to like eliminate stuff out of my life because I don't have the mental capacity. Like I have a lot of responsibility. I'm a single mom. I'm an entrepreneur. Like I'm juggling a lot. Okay. And like I said, I have a little chunk of time once a week to dedicate to my YouTube channel. And that's it, because this is not like my whole life doesn't revolve around YouTube. This is a part of my life. So anyways, the mental load of having like the whole process of me recording the video to getting it back from the editor to take a week it was too heavy on my mind and too many steps. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put a pause on this. Eventually, I would love to have an editor again, and I will work with the same one because I absolutely love her and she's amazing. I'm just not ready for that step yet. And I still feel like I'm like trying to get into my groove and find a repeatable process that I can do every single week. Now, like I told you, I kind of do have a process already, like film on my phone, keep the edit simple, but like sometimes I don't like to sit down here and I like to walk instead. Or sometimes I film extra B-roll footage and sometimes I don't. So like, I don't have like a cookie cutter pattern of how I produce videos. Each week it feels a little bit different and I'm experimenting and whatever, but that's the point. I'm really in this phase where I'm trying to find my groove and like how I like to do it and how it's fun, and how I can do it efficiently and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just like really in this massive, experimentation phase. I'm doing simple edits. That's it. Okay. Tip number 3 is to give yourself a deadline. So what I mean by that is I time block in my calendar once a week about a chunk of 4 hours. Like that's my YouTube time. I actually give myself a challenge to produce a video from start to finish in 3 hours or less. I give myself 4 because sometimes it does take me longer. Like why I like to do that is it helps me not overthink the whole thing. It helps me let go of perfection. Like here's a funny story. So in the video that I filmed last week, it was like a rant video and I was just like on a rant and I was like, blah, 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 blah. When I was editing it, there was this part of the video where like a giant piece of spit literally like comes out of my mouth, like a cartoon, and was like, whoop, like a jump, like a kangaroo jumping over something. So hilarious. Like as I was watching it, I was like, oh my God. First of all, I didn't even know that I could spit like that while talking. Like I was like, it reminded me of that Friends episode where Joey's in that movie, like they're like playing soldiers or something, and the other actor is like trying to really pronounce his words and he's like spitting in Joey's face, and then he's like, yeah, that's what good actors do, they spit. And then Joey's like, okay. And then he starts spitting in the other actor's face. That it reminded me of that. Good thing I don't embarrass easily, but if I did embarrass easily, that's a really embarrassing moment. And I tried to cut it out, but I couldn't edit that part out without losing what I was saying to keep up with my challenge of just get it done. Like done is better than perfect. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna publish this video with a giant piece of spit flying at the camera in it. And who knows? Then my mind was like, oh my God, the comment section is gonna be like, did you see that girl spit? You know? I released the video with the giant flying spit in it. And that's my point. Like when I give myself this deadline of like, just get it done, let go of perfection, keep the edits simple, it helps me move past those things where like, if I didn't have that rule for myself in place, I could have wasted like 2 hours trying to figure out how to edit out that like little piece of spit, you know? And it's like, it's just not worth the time or energy. And editing that out doesn't add any extra value to the viewer. Like the viewer is going to get more value if I just leave it in because I was speaking from the heart and what I had to say was valuable for the viewer to hear for the right, listener of that video. So another mistake I made in that is I referenced somebody and I said her name backwards. And then because she has like 3 names, it's Kaylin. Oh God, I keep messing up the order. It's Kaylin Apple Grace. and I said Kaylin Grace Apple or something like I messed up the apple and the Grace. And so then instead of refilming that piece and making the whole thing complicated for myself, I wrote a note in the description box like, hey, Kaylin, if you see this video, sorry that I said your name backwards, A video will never feel finished. There's always ways that you can make it better. There's always going to be parts that you feel like you can go back and reshoot and, make this edit better or whatever. What I have found, if I obsess over trying to make it perfect, like you could end up spending 30 hours on a video to make like a 10-minute video. And that is a lot of time. But that doesn't sound like fun to me. That would make the process feel like really heavy. And I want to enjoy the process. I'm prioritizing fun over strategy, which is what Kaylin Grace Apple. Oh God, I've said her name too many times now I don't know the correct order. That was the point that I learned from her last week, was about prioritizing fun over strategy, which is totally in alignment with my whole entire approach to YouTube in the first place. Like, I want to have fun, I want to enjoy the journey, and I want to be consistent because I do want to live up to my challenge that I set for myself of posting one video a week for 10 years and then hopefully longer. YouTube is a long-term thing for me. Last year at this time, my channel had hit 10,000 views. And I just recently got one of those emails from vidIQ. If you signed up for that, you know that they send you emails when you make progress on your channel and they celebrate milestones with you. And so the other day I got an email saying, congratulations, you just reached 100,000 views. And I was like, woohoo! Yes, So anyways, I just realized wow, I just totally 10x'd my results. And it's really perfect timing because I'm reading the books. The book 10x is easier than 2x right now. And I'm like, that's super cool. I just 10x'd my results and I'm reading this book, and how funny is that? And it took me a year. And so I wanted to share the top 3 things that overall, looking back in hindsight, that I really believe helped get me there. And so here they are. So number 1 is patience. Building a YouTube channel is not easy. Building really anything. I'm super into online business and content creation and this entire world online, making money online. And it's not an overnight, make money magic machine. It just doesn't work like that. And so I think, patience has just been super key in helping me keep showing up. I've been doing YouTube consistently now for 2 years, and it just takes so much patience. So much patience. Okay. So, hi, Lavonda. This is my first time going live from my phone. Thank you for being here. You're the first person to join. So anyways, patience. So if you are on a similar journey and, starting a channel, or you're building an online business, or whatever you're working on, I just want to say patience is so key. Okay. The second thing that helped me get there is being consistent. Staying consistent as a content creator is a challenge. It just is, because it takes a lot of creativity, a lot of energy. There's so many, especially on YouTube, there's 1,000,001 skills that you need to learn and deploy to produce a YouTube video. And so being consistent is hard, and I have found a way to do that. And so my challenge for myself is that I'm going to post one video a week for 10 years minimum. And just having that super massive goal, really big time horizon, has just really helped me stay consistent, because it's there have been weeks, there's been a couple weeks at a time where maybe I didn't post. And so I didn't do my one video a week. However, in the big picture, I have consistently posted at least one video a week. And actually, if you average it out, it's actually been more than one video a week over the past 2 years. And so that has just been super helpful. I hope you guys can hear me because it's starting to rain right now. If you're hearing the rain on the roof of my car, yeah, so I hope you can hear me. Anyways, so I would just say, to be consistent, give yourself a realistic goal and give yourself a big time horizon, because it's like, when I have those weeks where maybe like life just gets busy, or I'm sick, or my daughter is sick, and you know, like my availability to be in my zone and create is just not there, I can give myself grace really easily to be like, it's okay. Like, I don't need to produce a video this week. Like, I can take it off, because in the grand scheme of things, over the decade on a whole, I know that it's going to average out. Okay. So that has been helpful. And then the third thing has been replacing how with who. So that phrase is something I learned from Dean Graziosi, who he's been one of my greatest mentors. And I love that concept of who versus how. So I invested a lot in myself. Like, I have been studying YouTube for years. I've invested in joining PTYA, which is Ali Abdal's part-time YouTuber Academy. So I've gotten the right education. I've gotten the right coaching. I attend a ton of live events where I can get real feedback and talk to other creators. And so it's just really been that investment in myself, and getting the right support from the right person and people who actually know what they're doing. I wanted to peel the curtain back today and show you how I've made $5,494, so almost $6,000, purely just from actual videos and people clicking on links to purchase in the description box below. So let me show you how I did it. The biggest income stream from my YouTube channel has been from affiliate marketing. Okay, so when I'm talking about affiliate marketing, I'm talking about 4 specific videos that have generated this income. Let me find them. So here's one. Jim Quick's Limitless Mind System review, Tony Robbins' Business Accelerator review, Future Coach by Eben Pagan, and this video down here, Launchpad 2023 from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So these 4 videos are all together in one bucket of affiliate marketing. It's about $4,500 just from those videos. Now, to put it in perspective, that is a very small fraction, probably about, 3 to 5% of actual affiliate marketing sales. This is just strictly like somebody saw the video, clicked on the link in the video, and then purchased directly from the video. Most of my affiliate marketing sales have come from Facebook, social media marketing, and doing a whole bunch of other strategies for sales, which I'm not going to get into in this video. This is just for the purpose of showing you, like, just by having a video on YouTube and somebody clicking on the link in the description box, I made about $4,500 in affiliate marketing sales just from the video. Okay, the next income stream that I made money from, just from YouTube, again, small fraction of my actual income. I do like 99% of my social media marketing on Facebook. Well, at least up until this point, what I've been doing for the past couple of years. As I grow my YouTube channel, I'm sure more and more revenue will actually come from my YouTube channel, but this is just as of right now, okay? So is from my own online course called Content to Clients. Here's a peek inside. So this is my online course. I know I have made one sale for $497 from somebody finding me on YouTube and then clicking on my link and purchasing the course. I've also had one-on-one client come directly from YouTube for an hour session with me, which is $497. This brings our grand total to $5,494. That is how much I have generated from YouTube alone without being monetized as a YouTube partner. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, I almost forgot. I actually also made 64 cents from Amazon Associates, which is a new account that I just set up recently and have incorporated some affiliate links from Amazon on my channel. I have made 2 sales so far for 32 cents each from selling books that I recommend on my channel. So yeah, Amazon Associates is another great way to monetize your channel, but just know You really need to sell high ticket things to make any sort of meaningful income, because when you sell a book, like I have, for example, I made 32 cents per book. So yeah, but it is a way to monetize your channel. 32 cents is 32 cents. I hope this video was helpful in showing you that there are many other ways that you can monetize your channel before you officially become a YouTube partner. And if you found this video helpful, I would love it if you would smash that like button. Maybe you want to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe you want to watch another one on my channel.